Between inflammation and weight loss overall on the channel, there's probably no bigger topics that are just, that constantly permeate everything that I do, mostly because I think that there's two things that if you can mitigate, it's probably the best thing for you, okay? Inflammation in your body, number one, and then just overall shedding of excess weight, okay? Do that by any means necessary, okay? And as the title of this opinion article says, okay, bring back fat shaming, okay? And there's a difference between being mean and being rude and unnecessary fat shaming, but okay, just celebrating people for being 400 pounds of obese, disgusting fat and doing nothing, telling them that that's all right, that it's beautiful at any age, that's detrimental. That is hurting them only just because you don't want to hurt their feelings. If they're so delusional to believe that, they deserve to die at an early age, okay? And when it comes to fat shaming or just saying somebody's fat in order to, I don't know, just get a cheap laugh, I know where I draw the line, okay? When there's fat, disgusting people just chirping, okay, I'll call them fat, disgusting with a little bit more colorful rhetoric, but different channel for a different time. But if somebody's actively trying to be less fat, be less disgusting, okay, if they're at the gym, if they're out for a run, okay, if they're eating properly, if they're being sensible about their life, that's saying they're fat and gross, that's counterproductive and that's stupid. You should be encouraging those behaviors, not just saying that, oh, it doesn't much matter, I'm beautiful. No, you aren't. You're a slob. Just about caught myself. I'm hoping that I'm not going to slip up during this one, but yeah, like I said, I'm very much pro fat shaming. If it wasn't for fat shaming, okay, if it wasn't for me breaking down at the age of 16 for not being able to fit into a triple XL shirt, this one's medium, by the way, a triple XL shirt when I was 16 years old, couldn't get off the shelf clothing, might have been dead already, who knows, or maybe I would have been making my 600-pound news and exercise content. That would be just a little bit ironic now, wouldn't it? Anyways, now that even the tedious left is beginning the predictable coof rollback. Yeah, that's funny, but more on that on the main channel. It is time for at least a somewhat more balanced look at the second most important predictor of that disease, which is rarely mentioned, but has always been known. Weight. And excess mass, to be specific. When I say always known, I mean virtually from the outset. Here's one study from May of 2021. Obese individuals may be at a greater risk of severe coof complications, according to the new report released by the World Obesity Federation. It's probably a hilarious federation. It's probably like, what, Rikishi, Viscera? Oh, not that type of federation? Darn. The reports link obesity with a series of health complications related to coof, whatever. I just hate pronouncing COVID-19, so I just say coof because it's just, it's better. I'd found the increased body weight is the second greatest predictor of hospitalization and a high risk of death for people suffering from COVID or from just, everyday life. Okay, you're fatter, you're gonna get sicker. Simple as. Only age ranks as a higher risk factor, but not that much. Not that much. You're sick, you're unhealthy, more than likely you're also fat, ergo you're going to be sicker. The report also found that in countries with higher rates of obesity, the rates of coof tended to increase. No, any particular countries with those higher rates? Well, you're in the United States, you're reading this. Well, in Canada high, but we also have relatively high obesity rates as well. And then there's a good chance that you're in one. So if you get off your derriere and go exercise, yeah, no doubt. We hear about it in public, however, because the wokes left disdain for fat shaming, which I can't even pinpoint where that term came around, but it's just useless, okay? It's a sin far worse than public defecation. Oh yeah, judging by the conditions in liberal San Francisco. It has resulted in a virtual revolution in female modeling in print and on television, with women ranging from plump to seriously obese appearing frequently, or almost obsessively in advertising. And also, okay, because there was an article in the Daily Mail, and I was going to use it on the main channel. Okay, I just wanted to bring it over here just for an example. I don't have it pulled up or anything, but it was going through the most acceptable. Okay, I can't remember how they phrased it specifically, but they went throughout the decades from the 1910s, okay, all the way through till today, just cataloging the different preferential body types of women, okay, throughout the years, and it all just kind of followed the same kind of line, okay. Generally, like nice trim waists and bust sizes would change throughout a couple of the decades. Like the 20s and the 1920s was relatively the same to the 1990s, and the 1980s was more waifish all along with the 1910s. And if you just also extrapolate that on with the economic health of the world, you can also see that in times of economic disparity, okay, thicker women would also be more acceptable in society. But then once you get to about 2010, there was a big difference in things, okay? Like there was I used it unironically, but just as a description. It's what people use online now to just, I don't know, cover up for the fact that these fatties walking around with, I don't know, large busts and huge backsides are thick. No, it's disgusting, and there's something wrong with you, okay? And you don't realize that those Kardashians that are out there have more plastic work than Rubbermaid, okay? And the pictures that are just getting posted out there, you have to realize that most of them, okay, at least half of them, half of the famous ones anyways, they're in their 40s, okay? And you get a shot of an ass cheek or something like that, there's going to be cellulite on it, okay, at the size that it is. All of those are airbrushed. You're not being marketed to fairly or honestly, okay? And I don't know, okay, everybody has their own personal preference when it comes to what they find attractive, okay? Yeah, a big old bust every once in a while, yeah, that's totally fine, okay? A big dumper, cool, that's great, okay? But if you're describing some of these fatzos like Lizzo as thick and attractive, and she doesn't need to lose weight, or get these weirdos out here who attack people like Rebel Wilson and Adele for losing weight, and for a multitude of reasons anyways. They lose weight and all of a sudden they're the enemy, because by proxy, because they say that they've never felt better and everything stops hurting once you started losing weight, that they're somehow fat shaming the people who just won't get off their couch in order to make a change for their life, because it's just easier to live in squalor than it is to strive for something. Whatever. Let's just get back to this for a second. That has resulted in a virtual revolution in female modeling. We already went through that. It's fine up to a point. Exactly, to a point, okay? As long as you still have points on your body. But the point goes beyond diminishing returns when it becomes an encouraging, unhealthy, even dangerous lifestyle. For reference, although the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has justifiably lost popularity of date, I don't know whatever you mean. It does offer the frightening statistic that, as of 2017 and 18, 73.6% of Americans are overweight or clinically obese. There are certain populations that are even higher than that, but yeah, no, as an overall metric, that should hit you like somebody who's clinically obese. Maybe it would have been better if you had a chubby friend worried about the coof, and instead of debating mask or no mask, the shot versus horse paste, you just said, let's go for a run. No, COVID's outside and running is bad, you could spread it outside. We know. One of the better initiatives of the Obama administration was when Big Mike tried to inspire healthy lunches in school. Yeah, because dude, she needs something to eat. She may have gone about it the wrong way, but the general ideal was praiseworthy in a society where huge percentages of youths are either sitting or on their same derrieres or playing computer games, or glued to psychologically destructive social media. Bags of Cheetos at the ready. No, that's fair. That's for true. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker. Wow. Chris Farley's fatter stunt double is a prime example of hypocrisy standing before us, occasionally standing, preferably seated, as a seemingly eternal standard bearer for mask wearing well into the next millennium, when one can only imagine how the jowly man looks. Oh no, I'd rather not. The absurdity of his pontificating about about health would be hilarious if it wasn't actually true. Yeah, you take a look at some of these health professionals, even, okay, on the other side of this, okay, they're just unhealthy looking people. You take a look at some of these doctors that are on there, okay, bald-headed, jowly at best, or they just look like they're constantly on death's door. Some of the most unhealthy people, by the way, are doctors anyways, because they go through, just before they open up their practice during the day, they're normally always through the drive-through. Just saying anyways. Do as I say, not as I do. That type of stuff. Talk about the culture of hypocrisy. What kind of message does Pritzker and others send about children, about what their leaders should be, as the politicians preach endlessly about health? Yep. Okay, fat shaming may be, again, a bit mean, or be a bit mean-spirited. Not if it's, like I said, I told you guys at the beginning where I draw my line. If somebody's trying to make a change in response to being fat, okay, that's different, okay? I will never criticize anybody for being at the gym. I might say that your clothes look a little bit stupid, but it's never for the fact that you're out there exercising. You're fat in public, okay? But you're trying to do something about it. That's totally fine. Have fun with that. But if you're out here touting the gloriousness of the Pac-Man shaped woman, I'm not fucking buying it. I don't care what color of a bow that you have on top of your head. You're a fat disaster, and you should feel bad for doing it. Lying and pretending isn't something that there is even more mean-spirited than fat shaming. Yup. You keep telling people that they're going to be healthy at any size, but then when they drop dead at 40 because of a massive coronary, doesn't matter how kind you were during their massive birthday feeding. Like I said, it might not be popular. I have a lot of unpopular stances, but fat shaming, yeah, man, I'm totally behind it. I was a beneficiary of it, so I know it works. You guys know it works. Deep down, you know that it works, even if you are a little bit hesitant to employ it. But think twice over the weekend whether or not you want to stuff your face with anything. So, just saying. Just saying. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.